Hello, Tycoon tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Railroad Tycoon 3 with me, BlueAnkylo. So, just want to let you guys know this is actually take 3 of trying to do this episode. The next one, Germantown, I think it's called. We'll get to it in a second. I'm just at this screen so that the old man doesn't interrupt me. But the first time I tried to play it, I lost horribly. I went bankrupt, and I decided not to upload it because I made some huge mistakes. The second time I played it, I did better, but fraps basically messed the video up on me, so it's not there to be found. The good news is I've learned a few things about the game, so this episode should go a little bit smoother. The bad news is, well, I've had a couple failed runs. So on the other hand, I've also upped the music volume a little bit, so I had them all about 10% quieter last time, and hopefully you guys can hear the awesome music just a little bit better. So I will see you once I load this up after 1. That's right. Alright, see you in a second. Alright folks, so this is where the old man likes to interrupt us if I talk for too long. So let's get started on Germantown, USA.
In the middle of the 1800s, things were right tough.
This video will also crash at the end because it always does, but at least you can see most of it.
Aristocracy. That meant few opportunities for the common folk. But in America, you could make a name for yourself instead of having to inherit the right one. Whole German communities picked up and resettled in the Midwest, lock, stock, and barrel. Sometimes you could barely tell you weren't back in the old country. There it goes, it crashed.
Alright folks, so now that we're into the game, and again I apologize for the very end of the video getting clipped off, just can't quite get to record that a little bit. But yeah, let's get to it. So this time, we've got a slightly different challenge than in the first map, so I'll read this out for you guys. All these settlers have brought their dreams of a better life in a free place. However, nothing is free, like we just said, and they'll have to work hard. So will you. These towns are growing fast. I don't know if that actually changes the stats, but possibly. And they're going to need supplies and transportation if they're going to succeed. You're just the tycoon they're looking for. So the main goal is to connect St. Louis and Cleveland, as well as have a company value of $10 million by 1880. So we got 30 years. This time, instead of going faster, the difference is we need to make money by industry. So we're going to have to work on some manufactories, although I'm not going to start with them, but later on I will either build some or buy some and try to make some money from that. I'll try to figure that out in this map. I think that's the point. So we've got to have a very high company value, so we'll need lots of good routes, and we'll need some buildings to make us lots of good money. Alright, so Cleveland right here to St. Louis, or St. Louis, depending on how you want to say things. We're in the American Midwest, everything down from the Mississippi up to the Great Lakes and over to, well, I don't know what you call this area, Minneapolis. So the first episode, I'll just do this quick. I started in St. Louis thinking, well, that's a large city and I'll connect down to Memphis. But I think my routes were too long and I just didn't have enough money. Second time, I said, hey, let's start in this little area with lots of towns all close together because that's probably worth lots of money. And it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to do something like that again. Maybe start in Chicago to Milwaukee, Madison, something like that. And we'll see how that works. Of course, we do need to eventually get to Cleveland and St. Louis. But a lot of those towns in there look pretty low. Like Indianapolis is fairly big, but a lot of the other towns are very small. So we're not going to worry about connecting them just yet. I guess this area is not too bad. Saginaw, Toledo, Detroit, all that. But there is a little a river here that goes between, I can't remember the name of the river, between Lake Huron and Lake Erie, whatever it's called. And so if I want to connect up to like London, I'd have to cross that. I want to reduce costs, including bridges, as much as possible. So I think we're going to start here by Chicago. It's pretty flat, which is good. Less mountains is also cheaper. Alright. In fact, I think Chicago to Milwaukee is a good first bet. The only weakness is that there is like, I'll be competing with lake traffic, boat traffic, I guess, and they're not going to be as cheap as rail, but they kind of will compete with us as we're doing stuff. But once we start branching out, I might try to go like Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, Dubuque, or something like that. Something like that. Branching off here and there to connect up other cities. It depends on where the AI builds. I mean, I might connect up to Minneapolis at some point. For now, I'm going to try to avoid rivers and just get things going. First off, let's rename our character. That's the most important thing, if I can remember how to do that. Here we go. Me. So, I am not George F. Train. I am BlueAnkylo, the one and only. And we'll have a different picture too. Let's go. Let's be old this time. We got a cool old white beard. That's awesome. Love it. All right, good start. And we're gonna make our first company. Yeehaw. Double click. So one of the main difference between the first map and this one is we could only invest 100K. So I don't think we're as rich as we were last time. In fact, actually, I want to tick the days by a couple days. Cancel. Hold on to that thought. There's an event that starts at the beginning of this map, and I wonder if I hold off on making my company just a couple days. No, it's not going to trigger until I start the company. Shoot. Oh well, you'll see in a second. I'll explain it as we get going. Okay, let's make a company. So we can invest 100K, which means we only get $1 million to start with from outside investments. We're going to call it YouTube Incorporated, because that kind of seems like a good name for a YouTube Let's Play. Incorporated. There we go. Teed. And company logo, we're not Asian, so that's not going to work. I think I want the polar bear. Actually, you know, that's a cool. We can be the North Star. That's cool. Alright, we're in the Midwest, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, this is the event I was talking about. So, before your dreams of starting a railway out in the Midwest, you've done a little inventing. On the eve of your, or investing, sorry. On the eve of your company debut, you hear that investment has paid off. Which one is it? So, these are these little event decision things that give you kind of a bonus for this map. We can either get the 222 Firefly, which I did the first time and lost the game, so I think that's not a very good train. The second time I did this 170K investment. Now that gives me money. So I was hoping that I would be able to turn that into more initial company investment so that we could start with like 2.7 million instead of 1.6 or whatever this turns out to be. I don't think I can do that though now. Maybe that would be too overpowered for this mission. We could get less cost for trains. I don't know if that'll affect their maintenance, but trains are generally not that expensive. My first trains will cost like 45,000 or so. Most of the money goes to track and stations. Now, stations I could save some money on again. I think I'm going to try the investment return again just to test out if I can invest more into the company or something. I don't think you can, though. Alright, so YouTube Incorporated, till they track in Midwest. U.S. government gave us $500,000. That's where that extra little bit of money came from. And increased military spending spurs popular protests. Alright. No newspapers other than that. Alright. So, what can we do right off the bat? I was wondering if I could invest more. I don't think I have the option to like reinvest in the company. If you're playing on like a different, like a not a campaign mission, you can actually start multiple companies. In which case I'd be able to take some of my personal cash and start a second company, which could be fun. That would be very complicated actually, but I could do that. On the other hand, I can take my money and buy a bunch of stock in the company, which might not be a bad idea, because I will plan on improving the company. But yeah, I don't think there's any way to invest more. Issue bonds. I don't want to do that just yet. Yeah. We can build everywhere, which is handy. Maybe there is a way, and I don't know how, to reinvest more of your personal money into the company, but you might not be able to. I think once it's... the best I can do is just buy some stock, which I will do. So we start with 2,000 shares, and I want to buy like as much as I can, actually. No, actually, wait a second. Every time I bought some, the price sort of shot up a little bit. I have a feeling it might go down a little bit if I just wait a couple months, and then I can buy it for less. Maybe. Could be a mistake. Anyway, let's get on with the trains. So, I think we're going to start in Chicago. One thing you can do is you can start with a station if you're careful. And you can change these things. I'm going to go with the clapboard look, just to be different from the last session. I think Victorian is more like European looking, or at least East Coast. So clapboard. If I put a medium station, I can hit most of Boston. I can lock it, force it to point up, and then I can build it, point right. There we go. It's the track that I was thinking about. So I could put it like right there. That will cover most of Chicago with a medium station to save some money. Also, one thing to keep in mind, you can click on stuff. Attaching to the port will be a good idea. Tool and die is probably good. Houses aren't as important as getting the manufactories hooked up. for instance, there's a dairy farm over here. Building a station near that would be handy in a way, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so that's pointless. So anyway, we're going to build our station, I think right there. Actually looks pretty good to me. I'm going to try to be very efficient with my money this time, because the first try of this map, I really messed things up. Okay, so that's our Chicago medium station. We're going to go straight up to Milwaukee, I think. And we're going to have a medium station up here as well. It seems like if I build it in this section, it's not going to connect up to the port. Oh well, maybe we're just going to have to live with that. We'll get the brewery at least. That's the important thing. We're going to get some booze. And once that thing sells, we can buy that. It builds goods. On sale now. Retail. It's just a store. Anyway, that was kind of awkward. I could go for a larger station and connect up everything in Milwaukee, but I'm trying to save money, so this will have to do. That seems to connect most things. Alright, now we connect our track, of course. Maybe I'll go from Chicago. So we just keep it nice and straight. I think I can do this one just straight through. It's all green, perfect, straight on line. No ups and downs. Like if I zoom in here, it'll be like straight as a line, basically. So you get really fast speed on the train. It'll be great. I'm thinking which is going to be more of a hub, Chicago or Milwaukee. I'll put the maintenance closer to the one. I think Chicago will be more of a hub into the rest of the map. So I'll put oh, flexible. I want you to connect now. Yeah. I'll put the maintenance facilities down here. Got to start with at least one of these things for later. Okay, good. Now we add a train. And we have a Chicago-Milwaukee Express. Although it's not officially an express. Alright. Now, one other thing I did... Oh, we're still using the Baldwin, right? Same as last episodes, right? And no fire flag, because I didn't get that. Now, one thing I did figure out is how to rename stuff. Chicago. Instead of calling it Chicago, we're going to rename this to Sapphire Station, thanks to one of my viewers. So, I think it's 2 F's in Sapphire? No, 1 F? 1 P? I don't know. How do you spell stuff? I think it's 2 P's. That still looks weird. Does that just look weird to me? That looks weirder. Alright, we'll go with that one. Sapphire Station. And that will do. And then I have a name for train as well, which you can rename kind of awkwardly by control-clicking that screen. And instead of calling it Train 1, we're going to call it BlueAnkylo Unlimited. Unlimited. There you go. So now that I can rename stuff, I definitely need more suggestions. BlueAnkylo Unlimited. Good. Alright. Sapphire Station. I love it. Awesome. Renaming stuff. Okay, so we still got lots of money. I can't have unconnected track in a campaign mission, so I can't, like, also build Detroit to Saginaw or something handy like that. I have to connect up the route I've got. I think it might be smart to head over to Madison from Milwaukee next. In fact, that's definitely going to be what I want to do next. Oh, I can't quite turn in there. Shoot. So we're going to have to go out of Milwaukee and around. Oh, no. Well, I could. Well, it's going to be... Should I save? No, I will want to go up to Sheboygan eventually. I love Sheboygan. That's an awesome name. So heading up this way first won't hurt too much. And then we'll turn. Mostly green, a little bit of red here and there. Trying to optimize the actual route so that you don't go up and down hills is always a good idea. I think if I go... There's that one red bump in the middle I don't like, but I think I'm going to have to just take it. That sort of spreads it out. I'd like to have a little bit of yellow rather than red. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then that connects up to Madison. I think we can go through that route. Okay, there goes all my money. And we'll give these guys a medium station as well. And that looks like a good one. And I think I'll give them a service station, but not a maintenance tower. Do I want one train or two? You know, I'm gonna have two trains. I'm gonna have just short routes, And we'll see if that works. I haven't tried that out much. There we go. Short route. And the other thing I want to do before I unpause the game, I know I've already wasted half this episode, I want to set these things so that they can carry up to 6 cars. Now, they might not do this very often, but if there is goods, I want to make sure they're taking them with them, not leaving them back. You can see 6 cars on flat, and most of our tracks are quite flat. 25 is not much slower than 31 miles an hour. Should be able to change that to kilometers an hour. Too bad. In fact, we could go all the way up to 8 cars, and it wouldn't be too bad, but I think this will work out pretty well. If we were playing with the Norris, I might be more inclined to keep them at 4 rather than 6, but these Baldwins are pretty powerful. Okay, let's get to it. So we still got a little bit of money in the bank, and hopefully these routes are profitable. I'm expecting them to be fairly decent. The first train has 62,000 worth once it gets there. It's got grain, produce, and that's it. That's not that great. Weapons factory in Minneapolis. If we connect up to Minneapolis, there will be more weapons to sell. Grain and produce, that's actually not the most worthwhile route. What's the other one doing? This guy, follow him along. Oops, no. Follow him, look forward. This guy is carrying passengers and milk. So we got the milk run, making me a little bit of money as well. Not a lot though. Well, they both made about 60,000. It could be worse. Maybe on the way back they'll be worth a little bit more money. There we go. Look at this. This time 153. So Madison to Milwaukee is worth a lot of money. We got goods, we got passengers, more goods, got meat. Looks like the goods are worth the most money. Definitely worth the most money. And on the other station, on the other route, not so good. Only 29k. I think that's because that one is the Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's kind of shared. So what will happen is it won't produce enough goods as quickly as I can ship them out right now. Like, this guy will come in and sell some stuff, but they won't be full, so I won't be able to fill up the cars just yet. So that means my next route should connect off of Chicago or Madison, probably. Although that made some good money. Madison to Milwaukee was really effective. Also, we have some enemy factions, enemy trains starting up. So there's one up here, Mason to Rochester. We've got Holland to Kalamazoo. That looks like a lousy route. And Lansing to Saginaw. Not bad. Not bad. I believe there was, yeah, there's four enemies. So that's only 3. There's still probably one more coming. So that should be okay. All right, I got a little bit of money. I could go Madison to Albuquerque. I don't know. It's a little bit more hilly on this side. Actually, it's not that hilly. It's just very, very low hills. Could connect up that. Madison seemed to be a good stop. Chicago doesn't have any obvious connections just yet, so unless I want to start making long tracks, which I don't have the money for. I think Madison to Albuquerque. Albuquerque. I have no. Albuquerque. It's not actually Kirk. I'm just thinking of another city. Albuquerque or something like that. You know what? I can afford this. Let's get that train in there. I say I can afford. Oh yeah, look at that. That's actually very straight. I thought there was more hills. That's a dead straight line. Do it. All right. Should I build a medium station or a small station? Let's have a look at what we got in Albuquerque. We got some more meat. We got lots of meat. Oh, look at this place. This is making tons of money. I could buy it for 2 million. That's not so good. You can also see here, it turns a cow into meat. Meat is worth a lot more money, though, if I look at the goods overview. Meat. Where's meat? So, meat is produced here. It's worth 276. In the green areas, it's worth like 320 or so. So, shipping from here to, actually, Albuquerque to Madison just with meat will make a lot of money because you can sell it for 307, buy it here for 276. Nice, easy route. That's actually really simple. Okay. Oops, I have to actually add the stop first. I will add a medium station. I have a feeling this town will grow fairly quick and will be okay. It also has access to corn and sheep, just a little bit outside of town. wasn't there... Okay, well, we'll go through our first year report anyway. We're making money, so we actually made good profit our first year. Really good profit, actually. Much better than my previous tries. So we got a raise. We got 2 trains, both making money. And... Wow, I just made the 4th station. The Dubik... I have no idea. That's such a weird name. Dubicu. Let's call it Dubstep, in fact. I'm going to name that Dubstep Station, I bet you. That's totally what I'm doing right now. Dubstep Station. Actually, we just call it Dubstep. That's the name of the town now. No. It has to say station. It makes more sense. There. Dubstep Station. Cool. Okay, so... I need to add a train. I forgot about my train here. We'll stick with just the 1-to-1 train things. We'll see how that works. I'll let him carry up to 6 again. And go. Alright. Now, the other thing I was thinking while I'm doing all this is that the trains will kind of get stuck on each other while they're inside the towns. So I can spend a teeny bit of money and do double track just for the station so that they can split off if they have to. Same thing at all of them, actually. I don't have any money. It doesn't really cost very much, but I don't have anything right now. All my trains are making a bit of money. Don't you cut my dividends. We're only negative for like a day. So that's dividends is in stock market. I was going over this when no one was watching, of course. And you can not in that stock market. Companies. You can change dividends. That's how much money gets siphoned out of the company money into the stockholders. If you own like all the stock, right now I've got not quite 25%. I can probably... Oh yeah, I was going to buy more stocks, weren't I? I totally forgot. Let's buy a little bit more. So now I own over 25% of the company. If I pay dividends, it will go back to me, to my cash. But it comes out of the company treasury, which I suppose early on it actually makes sense to perhaps turn the dividends off just so you've got more money to build tracks and stuff. Probably. Sometimes your maps have missions to make your personal worth very high, your total net worth personally, versus your company net worth, which is sort of different. Anyway, let's finish doing our double track like I was talking about. That sort of buried that train there. It'll figure itself out, don't worry. And Chicago maybe doesn't need it right now, but let's just do it. Double for the thing. At some point, if I start having multiple trains running on the same routes, I might add double for the whole line, but that's more money than I really want to bother with just for playing around. There we go. I suppose at the very least I could have a service tower down here. I only have the one maintenance facility, and it's way down in Chicago, so I don't know if that's great. Not the best placement I ever had. At some point, I could consider taking a loan out. How's the loan situation? Prime is 7. I could get one at 11. That's not a very good rate. I generally try to take them at 10% or lower. So maybe once my credit rating's better, once I've proven that my company's making money, I'll consider that. Yeah. So how's my trains doing? Very, very low on profit at Dubstep here. It's just carrying milk around. Well, this'll help. This'll help. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the economy is that when the economy goes up, your upkeep goes up as well. Maintenance costs. The idea is, although there's more people taking trains and the goods are worth more money, you have to pay people more to work on the railroad, to maintain the tracks, to do all that other stuff. When it's a recession, although you have less traffic and less profit, the upkeep actually goes down. So it's not all good. Just because it's prosperous means I will have lots of more maintenance and upkeep. So that's something to keep in mind. It's probably cheaper to build stuff as well, like laying tracks in a recession. So if you have a lot of money saved up, once a recession hits, you can just build up all over the place for real cheap. And then as soon as it turns into a boom again, then you're making tons of money. But it's tricky to get the timing on that. But that's some advanced gaming for this one if you really want to be on top of things. So we've got 3 small routes, all making a little bit of money. Just transferring people around, passengers, goods, some mail. That's always fun. You can add on like dining cars, make a little bit more money from passengers, or a caboose. if you have problems with the breakdowns. But for now, we're doing okay. For now, we're doing okay on breakdowns. They might need some more oil. I think you need to go to the maintenance station to get oil. You know, I might build another maintenance station somewhere in the middle. I have one at Chicago. You know what? I'll build one around Madison, because Madison has 2 routes that go through it. So that's probably not a bad idea. Put it right there. Hopefully this guy's smart enough to go into it if he needs to. I'm not 100% sure if he is that smart, though. Alright. Tried to help him out. So if this guy... I don't know. Oh, end of turn. Oh, no! My stock split. 2 for 1. Woohoo! Good for stock. Means we hit 100k again. So, hopefully when this guy needs oil, he will go into that place. If that's... I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. Okay. Salary is going up. Income is even higher than last year. It's improving. That's good. You can see most of our money, express and freight, sort of equal. So we're making lots of money from passengers. We're making lots of money from freight, transport. You can kind of see my upkeep costs. Not having debt is good. We're actually making a teeny bit of money by being positive. I think it hovers. It says you make 2% interest on positive cash balance. I think in a recession you make more, actually. Again, in a recession, having lots of money is amazing. But it might be difficult to do that. Set it up. All right. We're doing pretty good. Nice small little tracks. Small little routes making me some money. What else could we do? What else? How's my bonds? Triple B. So we're almost at A, right? I could get a 9% loan. That's getting better. We're getting towards the point where I might risk it just to add a couple more routes. Where would we connect up to next would be a good question. Oh, there's the other AI. Indianapolis to Lafayette. There you go. So that's the other guy. I guess I could check to see how they're doing. How's their stocks? Not as good as ours. That guy's tanking. That guy's tanking. And that guy's tanking. Looks like we're wrecking them. Our stocks is a nice generic how well your company is doing. We are making money. I've got 12,000 shares out of 40,000 altogether. Not bad. So if I start paying dividends, I'll actually start making some money off of that. Let's pay myself a little bit of dividends. Not a lot. Let's just go up to like a 2k 0.5. Seems very low. I think the company can afford 10,000 a year in dividends. It's not much. But that will make me about 2,500 personal cash per year. Not much, considering how much debt I have, I think. But I think the stockholders like it when you do that. When you have good dividends, I think the people actually like it. They like to invest in your company more when you do that. Something like that. I could connect up to Sheboygan. It's not very big, but it's pretty cheap. It's not that far away. Maybe I could do a Sheboygan Green Bay with 1 train to Milwaukee. Just because they're smaller. And they're pretty close. Also, no rivers is nice. Or I could go to Cedar Rapids from Dubuque, Dubstep. Gotta remember that. Or I could start working towards Cleveland. I could start working around South Bend, Toledo, that direction. No, I think I'll go up to Sheboygan. Sheboygan sounds funny, so we're going to go that way. And we'll definitely do the Milwaukee-Sheboygan route. So we'll go with normal track, split it off. Why is it always giving me that red? I guess that's the natural route. It doesn't exactly find you the cheapest route, but that's pretty good. Look at that. That's pretty green all the way through. Yeah, that's good. And then we just gotta zip right on through like that. I think all you're gonna get is a small one for Sheboygan because it's not that great. It's just, if you live in Sheboygan, I'm sorry, but although your town has a cool name, it's just not very big in 1852. So you can just have a small station. And I will actually add the train now before I finish the route. There you go. Buy it. And I think I will also double track up to the branch off point as soon as I can afford it. Just a little bit further. There you go. Oh, I stopped. Come on, don't stop. You'll be fine. How's my trains doing? We're making money. There you go. You're off. All right. So yeah, once I got the double track up to there, then I won't have to worry about them slowing down when the Madison-Milwaukee one hits. Train 3 has broken down. Oh no. Did you forget to go get oil? Yeah, you see, that's what I was worried about. I'm not sure if he's smart enough to go just a little teeny bit past Madison. Like, it's not on his route to go into that station. If this is a regular problem, then we'll have to work on that. If a train runs out of oil, then breakdown, yeah. I have to keep an eye on that. Okay, another event. A study has shown that railways could decrease delays at stations by 20% if you add full-time cable operators. Cost is 20% more. So this is a typical pay more to get faster sort of service. I think we can afford it. I'll have a look at how much this is going to cost us. We can look up station maintenance and see what 20% is. But faster turnover at stations, I think, is just good for your overall profits, I think. So let's, well, maybe we'll wrap things up here. We'll have a look at our expenses and then we'll end the episode. So, our salary continues to raise, go up, good for us. So, station maintenance, 35K, so a plus 20% will be 7,000 a year extra, I believe. I think I'm doing the math right. So, you know, it costs us a little bit, but with an annual income of nearly 400K, 7,000 is not very much. And it should make us just more efficient, less time waiting for trains to get loaded and unloaded. You can see our trains are all making money. Even the new guy has made a little bit. Industry, we haven't worked. Yeah, I haven't started that. We'll do that soon enough. Dubstep Station. Seems like Milwaukee's the big one. It's got all the good cargo at Milwaukee. Where is Milwaukee? Is that the center one? Yeah, Milwaukee's my center. So that's good that Milwaukee is doing well. Alright, so that'll do for this episode, I think. Hopefully this recorded properly and I can get this uploaded for you guys. Oh, I know, one thing before I forget. Let's finish this little... I think I only need to build it up to about there. One more. There, that'll work. Now there's double route all the way through. Good. Okay, so there we go. So thanks for watching, folks. I think we've got a good start. Next episode, we're going to have to start working on industry. Well, we'll see if I can afford it. Remember, of course, that my overall goal, if I can remember how to get there, is to make $10 million in industry profits. That's a lot of money. And we need a company book value of $40 million. And just to show you, we're only at 2.6, so we got a long way to go. I suppose we're 10% of the way, and we have 5% of the book value. So we gotta make some more money. But the good news is our personal self, we're making loads of cash on stocks. Starting with that extra 170K, that really helps. Alright, folks, so thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. I'll even save it. I'll go LP, what is this, episode 4? Episode 4, there you go. Alright, so hope you guys have enjoyed some train riding. Keep giving me names for trains and towers. You might not make it onto this map, but you'll definitely make it onto the next one. See you next time, folks.